When my heart was a rock, I knew it was gold.
Someone could change it, like an alchemist of old.
You came along, gave my heart birth.
Now our love's more precious than anything on earth. Transformation, you're changing me with fire. Transformation, the flame is my desire. Transformation.
Got the demo? What'd you think? Okay. Okay. Great. 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 Okay, we'll see you then. Bye. Yes!
No!
Stop. Go.
He says up! And she says down.
And I say we just got a gig. Hey!
Way to go, Lori. All right, where is it?
Springfield Music Festival.
Springfield, that's like 2 hours from here.
So what?
What's the pay?
$100, man.
Yeah. I don't know, that's not that much money.
Oh, come on, what are you talking about? It's our first gig ever.
It's $100 more than we've ever had before.
Yeah, but it's only 25 bucks a person.
Who cares about the money?
I do.
I don't. I don't care about the gig at all.
What is with you people? I thought you'd be excited. Isn't this what we've always wanted, what we've been rehearsing for months and months?
I already have what I want. I get together with 3 of my best friends and I play music. Okay, look, what does the festival charge to get in?
It's like $10 or something.
Right! Music is art. It should be free.
Oh, brother. Musicians have to eat too.
No, we should be playing for free. We should be playing for our friends. That's when it sounds the best. We should be playing for people at school. Okay, think about what music is. Music happens naturally. You open your mouth and you sing. I mean, that's as natural as it gets. That means that music is like, it's like breathing the air. It's like the sand on the beach. You cannot charge for music.
This is an artificial finger joint. It's made out of silicone, and this is made from sand.
Sand like sand on the beach sand.
Well, sort of. We don't actually take it from the beach. What we do is we mine quartz, like quartzes you wear in your necklaces. This is quartz that's actually a very pure form of sand that we mine, and then that quartz is processed, it's melted, and developed into silicone.
Wow. It's very strong. You actually put this in somebody's finger?
It's usually used in people who have arthritis.
My grandmother had arthritis, and she had to have her joint replaced. And I remember she was in a lot of pain before the operation, but after the operation, she said her hand felt like it did when she was a kid. She said she felt great.
Yeah, people who have arthritis, their joints are not only very painful, but oftentimes they're deformed and dislocated, and the people who have it can't even use their hands the way normal people can. They can't pick up a brush or a comb or a glass of Coke. But once we put these implants in, it straightens out their hands so that they're not in so much pain anymore, and so they can use them like normal hands again.
You must do something to the sand, like they probably heat it up and add something else to it.
There's a lot of different processes we can do to the silicone to make it come out in different forms. In some forms it would come out as thin as a liquid. In others it would be as thick and as heavy as this gum.
So this is obviously a lot more advanced than just pouring a gel into a mold and letting it harden. It must be very patterned on the inside to make it very strong.
It sure is. It's got a lot of what we call cross links, and the cross links help keep it from tearing. You know, you had a lot of trouble there even trying to tear it, and it won't tear very easily. And again, we'll test it a lot in our lab before we ever let it out to make sure that it doesn't tear. This is one of the most important tests that we run for the finger joints.
I can see them all right in there. You must be bending them.
Exactly. What we're going to do is bend these really quickly, really fast for a long time to see how long they last.
How many times are you going to bend them?
Well, we think people bend their hands about 1 million times a year. So what we'll do is we'll run this for 10 million cycles.
It's 10 years.
Exactly.
Can I actually see it work?
Yeah, we can turn it on.
Okay.
Ready?
Yeah. That's really fast.
Yeah, it is. We can cram 10 million cycles into about a week.
I can see that. It sounds great. What would you do if one of those broke?
Well, if it breaks, what we do is we've got a high-powered microscope called a scanning electron microscope that we can look at it really closely and find out where it started to break and why.
You put the whole finger joint under the microscope?
It's a big microscope.
Guess it would have to be.
What this does is it uses electrons instead of light to look at something very closely.
I can see what part of the finger joint that is. That's the middle section that you've been bending.
Right,
You
exactly.
can see a crack right there.
Yes, this is one that's broken, and so what we can do is we can zoom in on that crack and look at the different features of it. Look at the beginning and the end and the middle and try to decide exactly how that crack formed. Depending on what it looks like close up, we can tell whether it happened all at once or whether it developed slowly over time.
That's great. What a great picture. It looks like a mountain range. That's 1,430 times magnification.
Yeah, we can get really close. And if you get close enough and look at some of the features of that crack, we can say, for example, on this one, it started really suddenly. This wasn't something that developed over time. This is something that happened right away.
So the finger joint must be in this vacuum machine right here.
Exactly. It's under a vacuum because that helps the electrons scan the sample better.
Zooming out. Flying away.
You can move all around that joint and look at it from different sides and different angles.
Now we're back at 10 times the magnification.
Right. You know, people will live with arthritis for a really long time. They're in a lot of pain. Their hands are badly deformed. They can't even pick up a can, button their shirt, brush their teeth. And I like the idea that we can take something as simple as this and make their lives so much better.
Simple. Yeah. But I bet these parts cost a lot of money. I mean, what if somebody can't even pay for it? Are you going to give them away for free?
We'd like to be able to give these away for free, but the amount of money it takes to do all the testing and development, I mean, some of that equipment you saw is really expensive. And if we couldn't do all that research, then we couldn't put out the best, safest implant that we'd like to put out.
I had not even thought of that. There's got to be some other way, though, to get the parts to the people who really need them.
Yeah, that's kind of a question that all of society needs to answer. I mean, how can we help the people who can't afford medical care while still maintaining the standards of medical care that we expect?
You guys are playing around with a lot more than just sand here. This means so much more than just money to people.
It does. It's a lot more than just sand off the beach.
I, for one, am not giving away my music. When I work at the store, I get paid.
You better.
When I work at playing for people, I expect to get paid.
Me too. I could use the 25 bucks.
So could I.
We've been practicing for months. I just want to get something out of it now.
Okay, it's payback time, but, I mean, we also create something here, right? I mean, I like creating things.
Like wacky ideas.
Especially wacky ideas.
That'd be a good job for you, AJ. Theory inventor. Good pay, long hours, must be willing to travel to the realms of the unknown, may never come back.
Yeah.
Well, I want to do something where I can help other people.
That's cool.
You want to be a rock star.
The pay's not bad, but I don't know. I mean, working on cars is probably a little more realistic. That's what my dad says.
I do. What? I want to be a star. I want fame. I want to get up in front of thousands of people and have them go nuts. Ladies and gentlemen, a big warm welcome for Lori Miller!
Yeah, all right. Earth to Lori, back to reality. Let's talk about the gig, about the money. We gotta pay for my gas. Well, the festival's not gonna pay for our gas, are they?
Wait a minute. You actually think we're going in your car?
Sure. What? I give you guys lifts all the time.
Yeah, but over 2 hours in that car at 55 miles an hour?
Who can tell me one thing that's so risky about riding in my car?
This is an offshore jackup rig. Our objective here is to drill into pressurized gas at roughly 16,000 feet with an ultimate CD of 19,000 feet. This gas reservoir will be pressurized to approximately 15,000 psi.
PSI is pounds per square inch?
That's correct.
That's a lot of pressure. I mean, couldn't it just, blow the cap off this thing? I mean, you guys are like out here in the middle of the ocean. This is kind of risky. Isn't anybody worried?
No, Billy, if it was that risky, you and I wouldn't be out here today, not with these 50 men be here. There's a certain amount of risk in everything we do. There's risk in riding a bicycle or even driving a car. You buckle your seatbelts in the car to minimize the risk of you dying in an accident.
Well, yeah. This is rather more involved than that, though.
Well, yes, it is. It is rather complex. So we do things to minimize the risk. We use technology. We use all our experience through the years of drilling these oil wells to minimize that risk. Once we start drilling, we pump synthetic mud down the hole.
So you designed this mud specifically for your own purposes?
Well, that's correct. Synthetic mud not only cools and lubricates the bit, but we also use the mud to control the formation pressure, such that it keeps that formation...
The gas from flowing right up the pipe.
Absolutely right. We can't plan for everything in our drilling program. No matter how many months and months we put into planning and trying to anticipate everything that may happen.
You can't predict everything.
That's right, we can't. The piece of equipment you're looking at there is called the blowout preventer. And what the blowout preventer is a safety device. Now how this device works is this is a set of valves and rams. And what it does is that while we're drilling, if we encounter some pressure and this pressure tries to push the mud out,
it can just clamp right up, right?
It will clamp right up on the drilling fluid and not allow that mud to escape. And then we can read the pressure on pressure gauges. And this pressure tells us how much we have to weight up our drilling fluid to contain that pressure down hole. What we have here is an instantaneous readout from the measurement while drilling tool, or MWD down hole. Now this tool is attached to the drill bit. So while we're drilling, it's instantaneously recording the formations that we're drilling.
So this is what's happening right now down there at 16,800 feet?
That's right.
And the information's coming up instantly?
Yes, that's real-time data.
So what kind of information is this giving you? I mean, I see, well, there's pump pressure here and temperature. What else is it telling you?
Okay, what we also have on here is a gamma ray. This gamma ray can tell us whether we're drilling shale or sand. We also have a rate of penetration.
That's how fast you're drilling into the ground?
That's correct. And using the rate of penetration, gamma ray, and temperature is another tool in trying to determine whether we're drilling into pressure or not.
This risk business is a funny thing. I mean, kids in my band think it's too risky to ride with me in my car. I don't.
You know, there's a 1 in 250,000 chance of someone dying in a car accident?
Yeah, see, that's not very high.
No, it's not. But, of course, if you drink and drive or you have a poorly kept car, then, that chance may increase.
Well, yeah.
We take the same kind of steps out here in minimizing risk. We do our planning way ahead of time to make sure that the risk is minimal while we're drilling. But there's also economic risk. You realize that we're down to 17,000 feet, and we've spent over $5 million, and right now this is a dry hole.
Really? So you might not even get anything out of it?
There's a 1 in 10 chance of making a discovery anytime you drill. But if we do make a discovery, it's a big economic advantage to my company.
So I guess when you're deciding if you're going to take a risk or not, you've got to, weigh the risk against the possible gain and then decide whether or not you think it's worth it.
That's absolutely right.
Well, you must think it's worth it to be out here.
Absolutely right.
All right. I'll get the car checked out. There goes my 25 bucks. You two could chip in something,
Okay, that's fair.
All right, I guess.
Is this what we want? I mean, is this what we're gonna do?
I still think we should ask for more money. At least for gas.
Oh, man. How are we ever going to decide this?
Majority rules.
Oh, come on, you guys. We're a bunch of friends. We can't force each other to do things that we don't want to do. I say we all have to agree.
Great, then we don't do it because you veto it.
No, I didn't say I wouldn't do it. I'm thinking about it.
Okay. I can go along with that. We all have to agree. You know, all for one and all that, you know? All right. So, how are we going to settle this? What are we going to do?
Well, I want to do it. I mean, the money's good enough for me for our first gig, and next time I'll be a tougher negotiator.
All right, we should just figure out how much it costs us to practice and play. You know, I mean, our instruments, gas to the gig, then we know how much to ask for.
Right. And I'll call them back and ask for gas money this time.
All right, it doesn't hurt to ask.
I think it would be fun. The chance to play. Who knows what it'll be like?
I think it would be fun too. Come on. But you know what? I'm still going to give some of my share to the homeless shelter.
Yeah, they can use it.
Great, we're on.
All right! Wait a minute. There's still a problem.
What now?
We don't have a name.
The 4 cylinders.
4 elements.
The Forte. Forte!
The fourth dimension, who cares?
Let's jam!